All right, so get ready, everybody, because we are diving deep today into, the true goal of yoga. And I'm not talking about just like touching your toes, or mastering crow pose. Like we're going way deeper to the heart of this practice.
Yeah, like going deep into the philosophy and, like the spiritual evolution of yoga. And we're going to be looking at Heavens and Hells of the Mind by Imre Vallyon.
Okay, cool. And this isn't like your typical like yoga studio guidebook, is it? It's a
No.
little different.
Yeah, it challenges a lot of the modern interpretations of yoga
Yeah.
and suggests maybe we've kind of strayed from the original intention.
Oh, interesting. Okay, so like it's saying that we're doing yoga wrong.
Well, not necessarily wrong, but maybe kind of missing the point a little.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. I'm intrigued.
It's fascinating how the source highlights this idea that initially there was only one path, like a holistic system called Yoga-Mārga, and it wasn't about achieving physical flexibility. It was about something much grander, uniting with the universal consciousness.
Okay. So it wasn't about the physical stuff.
Yeah.
What was it about? What did this original practice look like?
It was like, imagine a completely integrated way of life.
Yeah.
Like woven into every aspect of your day. The ultimate goal of uniting with the divine. Think Hatha Yoga, but also Karma Yoga, the path of selfless service, Bhakti Yoga, the path of devotion, and several others, all working together in harmony.
So many paths, all intertwined. It sounds like a lot.
Yeah.
It sounds like they all contributed to overall like well-being and spiritual growth.
Exactly.
Yeah.
But here's where things get interesting. Over time, this unified practice started to fragment. People began focusing on isolated aspects of yoga, which the source argues led to imbalance.
Yeah.
It's like having a team of expert chefs, each specializing in like a different cuisine.
Yeah.
But they never actually collaborate on a meal together.
Okay.
You might end up with a delicious appetizer.
Yeah. Yeah.
But miss out on the main course and dessert.
So it's like focusing on one piece of the puzzle without ever seeing the full picture.
Precisely. And this brings us to one of the source's key points, the comparison of Hatha and Roja Yoga. Many people today believe that practicing Hatha Yoga eventually leads to Roja Yoga.
Yeah, I've definitely heard that before. Like if you can just nail that headstand, enlightenment is just around the corner.
Right. But the source challenges that idea. You see, traditional Hatha Yoga involved like 84 very difficult postures held for extended periods.
Oh, wow.
Imagine holding plank pose for an hour. That's a far cry from the dynamic, like, flow-based practices common today.
Ah, yeah, that's way different. So it was more about like endurance and pushing physical limits.
Yeah. In a way, yes. It was about discipline, mastery of the physical body. But Roja Yoga, on the other hand, focuses on mastering the mind. Think meditation, deep introspection, cultivating a profound inner stillness, self-awareness. It goes beyond the physical realm.
Like two sides of the same coin.
Yeah.
One's focusing on the vessel, the body, and the other on the essence within, the mind.
A great analogy. And it's interesting to note that even the word Hatha itself holds a deeper meaning. It symbolizes the union of the seer, your spiritual self, with consciousness.
So even within the physical practice, there was this inherent focus on merging the physical and the spiritual realms.
Absolutely. Now, let's shift gears for a moment.
Okay.
And look at the Yoga Vasisaha, an ancient text highlighted in the source. It outlines 7 steps on the yogic path. And you'll notice these steps emphasize the internal journey over physical exercises.
Okay, now I'm intrigued.
Yeah.
What are those 7 steps?
They are contentment, peace of mind, association with wise people, rational investigation, thinking and experience, intuition of truth, and finally, self-realization.
It's striking how that first step is contentment. How often do we chase after happiness without first cultivating, a sense of inner peace and contentment?
Yeah. It's a powerful reminder that the journey inwards is just as important, if not more so, than the journey outwards.
For sure. So we've established that yoga is about this profound inner journey towards union, but what exactly are we trying to unite with? Like, what's the ultimate goal?
That's a great question, and it leads us to the core message of the source. Yoga is ultimately about understanding ultimate reality. But it's not about blindly believing in a higher power. It's about experiencing that reality for yourself.
Okay, that sounds pretty profound.
Yeah.
But how does the source define this ultimate reality? Is it talking about God?
That's where it gets interesting. The source actually avoids using the word God in the traditional sense. Instead, it focuses on qualities of ultimate reality that can be experienced, not just believed.
Okay. I'm starting to see why you said this source challenges conventional interpretations. So what are some of these qualities? Give me an example.
One of the qualities is called sit, which refers to boundless universal consciousness. Imagine a consciousness so vast, so all-encompassing, that it's beyond our limited human comprehension. It's self-aware, interconnected with everything in existence.
Wow. Okay. That's pretty mind-blowing. So it's not about like blindly following a dogma.
Right.
It's about personally experiencing this universal consciousness through the practice of yoga.
Exactly. The source reminds us that these aren't just abstract ideas, floating around in some philosophical ether, but potential experiences waiting to be unlocked on the path of yoga.
Okay, so that's it.
Yes.
Boundless universal consciousness. What other qualities does the source highlight?
Another fascinating quality is prakoa, which means eternal light.
Okay.
This doesn't refer to like a physical light, but rather a light of pure intelligence, omniscience, and omnipresence. It's the light of awareness that illuminates all things.
So it's like the light of pure knowing,
Yeah.
shining through everything in the universe.
Exactly. And this light is not separate from us. It's within us, waiting to be discovered.
This is starting to sound a lot like what many religions call God.
Yeah, you're right. There are definitely parallels. And the source even draws a fascinating connection between the Sanskrit word yoga, meaning union, and the Latin word religion, which means to reunite.
So both point towards this idea of uniting with something greater than ourselves.
Precisely.
Mm-hmm.
But here's the key difference. Many modern religions have shifted away from this core meaning, often focusing more on beliefs, dogma, and rituals rather than direct experience. Yoga, on the other hand, emphasizes that direct connection, that inner journey towards union with the ultimate reality.
It's a subtle but important distinction. One is about the journey inward, the other about external practices.
And that brings us to another key insight from the source, the 3 stages of yoga, each representing a step closer to that complete union.
Okay, I'm definitely ready to unpack these stages.
Okay.
Walk me through them.
The first stage is all about uniting your personality with your soul, achieving soul consciousness. Think of it as recognizing yourself as a spiritual being, not just a collection of, thoughts, emotions, and physical sensations.
Right.
You're transcending the limitations of your ego and realizing your true spiritual nature.
So it's like shedding those layers of conditioning and societal expectations to connect with the essence of who you truly are.
Exactly. Then we move to the second stage, which is about uniting your soul with the self, the universal spirit that resides within you. This is about recognizing that divine spark within, the Atman.
Wow. Okay. That's powerful. And what about the third stage? What's the ultimate union?
The third and final stage is the culmination of the journey uniting the self with the oversoul, the paramount man, which you might think of as the Godhead. It's about achieving complete oneness with the source of all creation, dissolving the boundaries between you and the infinite.
It sounds like a journey from individuality to complete unity, merging with the vast ocean of existence.
A beautiful way to describe it. Now, before we delve deeper into these stages, I want to emphasize one crucial point the source makes about what achieving yoga is not.
Okay, go on. I'm all ears.
It's not about developing psychic abilities.
Yeah.
Or communicating with spirits.
So no channeling spirits or trying to read people's minds then?
Not quite. The source clarifies that those pursuits belong to a different realm altogether. True yoga transcends those limitations and aims for a much higher state of consciousness, a state of pure awareness and union with ultimate reality.
It's about going beyond the limitations of the mind, not getting caught up in psychic phenomena.
Exactly. It's a profound shift in perspective, from seeking external validation to cultivating inner transformation.
This is incredibly insightful. It really challenges the common misconceptions surrounding yoga and reveals its true depth and complexity.
And that's precisely what makes this deep dive so valuable. We're peeling back the layers to understand the true essence of yoga, but there's still more to uncover. We'll continue our exploration in the next part of our deep dive, delving into the source's insights on how to actually achieve this profound state of union.
So we've established that true yoga is about going way beyond, the limitations of the mind and achieving this state of pure awareness and like, union with that ultimate reality. But how exactly do we get there? Does the source like offer any guidance on how to achieve this?
Oh, it definitely does. And you might be surprised by its simplicity. The ancient yoga masters, they really emphasize, dedicated practice, particularly meditation. They believe there's no substitute for just sitting down, turning inward, quieting the mind. It's in that stillness that we can begin to experience those deeper states of consciousness.
Yeah, it's a powerful reminder that like, real transformation, whether it's physical, mental, or spiritual, requires effort. You can't just like read about it or talk about it. Got to roll up your sleeves and do the work.
Yeah, couldn't agree more. It's like learning to play an instrument. You can study music theory, watch countless tutorials, but until you pick up that instrument and practice consistently, you'll never become a musician.
Makes sense. So dedicated practice, particularly meditation, is key. But does the source mention any like specific techniques or methods?
It doesn't really delve into specific techniques, but it does highlight the importance of following the teachings and practices outlined in the various, yogic traditions. Remember, yoga is like this vast ancient tree with many branches, each offering its own unique path towards that same, ultimate goal.
So it's about finding a path that resonates with you personally and committing to the teachings and practices of that particular tradition.
Exactly. And it's not just about blindly following rules or mimicking what you see others doing.
Right.
The source really stresses the importance of rational investigation. Question the teachings, explore them deeply, and make sure they, align with your own understanding and experience.
Yeah, that makes sense. It's about cultivating a deep understanding of the principles behind the practices, not just going through the motions or like seeking external validation.
Precisely. And as you progress on this inner journey, the Force suggests you'll naturally develop intuition, a deeper knowing that goes beyond intellectual knowledge. It's that gut feeling, that inner voice that guides you towards truth and wisdom.
It's interesting. We often hear about intuition, like, in the context of creativity or decision making, but it's fascinating to think of it as like a crucial element on the spiritual path as well.
Absolutely. And it's that cultivated intuition that ultimately leads you to the seventh step outlined in the Yoga Vasiyaha, self-realization, ultimate goal of yoga.
It sounds like this gradual unfolding, a process of deepening awareness and understanding that, culminates in this profound realization of your true nature.
Beautifully put. And this realization is not some, distant abstract concept reserved for enlightened masters or secluded hermits. It's something that can be experienced here and now, in this very life. The Source reminds us that the qualities of ultimate reality set, prakoa, kartipadagakti, these aren't just philosophical ideas, but potential experiences waiting to be unlocked through, dedicated practice.
So it's not about escaping this world to reach some like heavenly realm after death, but about transforming our experience of this world right here, right now.
Exactly. Yoga is about bridging the gap between the mundane and the divine, bringing those qualities of universal consciousness, eternal light, and omnipotent power into our everyday lives.
It's about embodying those qualities, not just intellectually understanding them or talking about them. It's about living them.
You've hit the nail on the head. And that brings us back to a crucial point that we touched on earlier. Achieving yoga is not about gaining supernatural powers or, psychic abilities.
Right. It's easy to get caught up in those, fantastical ideas, especially in our modern culture where psychic phenomena and supernatural abilities are often glamorized in like movies and TV shows. But those pursuits, according to the Source, are ultimately distractions from the true goal of yoga.
It's like mistaking the finger pointing at the moon for the moon itself. True yoga is about transcending those limitations, moving beyond the allure of the phenomenal world and connecting with the source of all creation.
It's a profound shift in perspective from seeking external validation to, cultivating inner transformation, from chasing after fleeting pleasures to discovering lasting joy and fulfillment within.
Exactly. And this inner transformation doesn't happen, overnight. It requires consistent effort, dedicated practice, and a willingness to confront our inner demons, those internal enemies the yoga master spoke of. It's about facing our fears, insecurities, and limiting beliefs head on and, transforming them into sources of strength and wisdom.
Like a sculptor chipping away at a block of marble to reveal the beautiful statue hidden within. It's a process of refinement, purification, of making ourselves fit vessels for that, divine light that already resides within.
A beautiful analogy. And the source emphasizes that this journey is not a solitary pursuit. The Yoga Vasisaha, that ancient text we talked about earlier, highlights the importance of association with the wise. It's about surrounding ourselves with people who can guide us, support us, inspire us on our path.
So it's about finding a community, a sangha, where we can learn from, experienced practitioners and help each other grow and evolve.
Exactly. The path of yoga can be challenging. With its inevitable, ups and downs, twists and turns, having a supportive community can make all the difference. It provides a space for sharing experiences, seeking guidance, and staying inspired on your journey.
It's like having a group of experienced hikers guiding you through unfamiliar terrain.
Yeah.
You might be able to make it on your own, but their expertise and support make the journey safer and more fulfilling.
I love that analogy. And it's important to remember that this journey is not about reaching some final destination, some static state of perfection. It's an ongoing process of growth and evolution, of continually refining our understanding and deepening our connection with the ultimate reality.
So it's not about reaching the summit of a mountain and then just stopping.
Not at all. It's about continuing to climb, exploring new peaks and valleys, always striving for greater understanding and deeper union. It's a lifelong adventure, an ever-unfolding journey of self-discovery and spiritual evolution.
And each journey is unique, isn't it? There's no one-size-fits-all approach to yoga.
Absolutely. The key is to find a path that, resonates with you, to commit to the practices, and to cultivate a deep understanding of the teachings. It's about honoring your own unique journey while embracing the universal principles that underpin all, yogic traditions.
So it's about finding that sweet spot between personal exploration and universal truth.
Exactly. And as you progress on this journey, you'll naturally develop a deeper understanding of yourself, the world around you, and the very nature of reality.
Yeah.
You'll begin to experience those qualities of ultimate reality firsthand, not just as intellectual concepts, but as, living, breathing truths.
It's like moving from black and white to full color, from theory to practice, from belief to experience, from separation to union.
Beautifully said. And this shift in perspective has profound implications for how we live our lives. It's not just about achieving personal enlightenment. It's about bringing those qualities of universal consciousness, eternal light, and omnipotent power into everything we do.
So it's about transforming not just ourselves, but also the world around us.
Precisely. The true goal of yoga is not to escape the world, but to elevate it, to bring about greater harmony, understanding, and compassion in all aspects of life. It's about recognizing the divine spark, not just within ourselves, but in everyone and everything around us.
It's a beautiful and inspiring vision. It suggests that yoga is not just a personal practice, but a path to creating a more conscious and compassionate world.
And that's a vision worth striving for, wouldn't you say?
Absolutely. It gives new meaning and purpose to the practice, seeing it not just as a means to personal liberation, but as a way to contribute to the well-being of all beings.
Well said. And this brings us to an important question that the source raises towards the end of this chapter.
Okay, I'm ready for it. What's this thought-provoking question?
It asks, if yoga is truly about connecting with a universal consciousness, what implications might that have for how we live our daily lives? What would it mean to bring that sense of unity and purpose into our interactions with, others and the world around us?
Whoa. That is a profound question. It really challenges us to consider how the principles of yoga can extend beyond our, personal practice and inform every aspect of our being.
Exactly. It's an invitation to, reflect on how we can embody those qualities of consciousness, intelligence, and power in our relationships, our work, our communities, and our engagement with the world at large.
It's a call to action, urging us to bring the transformative power of yoga into every facet of our lives. It's about recognizing the interconnectedness of all things and striving to create a more harmonious and enlightened world.
Beautifully said. And that's a perfect segue into the final part of our deep dive, where we'll explore the source's concluding remarks on the true, meaning and purpose of yoga.
We've been on quite the journey,
Yeah.
exploring the real heart of yoga.
Yeah.
Last we left off, we were contemplating the big question, if yoga is about connecting with this universal consciousness, how does that change, how we live day to day?
It's a question that really takes us beyond our yoga mats and into the real world. challenging us to really integrate these profound concepts into our everyday lives.
Yeah. It's not just about personal transformation. It's about how that transformation ripples outwards, influencing how we interact with others and the world around us.
Right. And, the source emphasizes that achieving yoga isn't about becoming some sort of like superhuman being,
Yeah.
detached from the world and its problems.
So no levitating yogis or all-knowing gurus then?
Not quite. It's not about seeking special powers or isolating ourselves from the messiness of life. The source suggests that the true measure of a yogi lies in their actions, and how they embody those qualities of universal consciousness, eternal light, and omnipotent power in their daily interactions.
So it's about taking those lofty spiritual principles and like weaving them into the fabric of our lives. It's about walking the talk, so to speak.
Precisely. It's about expressing that sense of unity and purpose in everything we do, in our relationships, our work, our communities, in every aspect of our being.
I love that. It's about, recognizing that divine spark, not just within ourselves, but in everyone we encounter, in every living thing, in the very fabric of existence.
Beautifully said. And this recognition, this shift in perspective has profound implications for how we navigate life's challenges and opportunities. It allows us to move through the world with, greater compassion, understanding, and wisdom.
It's like seeing the world through a new lens, a lens of interconnectedness and unity. We start to recognize the common thread that binds us all together.
And that's where the real magic happens. This perspective can transform everything: how we relate to others, how we approach conflict, how we make decisions, how we contribute to the world.
It's about aligning our actions with the wisdom and insights gained through the practice of yoga.
And that's ultimately what this entire deep dive has been about. Uncovering the true essence of yoga, its transformative power, and its potential to create a more conscious and compassionate world.
Yeah, it's been an amazing journey exploring the depths of this ancient practice and its relevance to our lives today.
And we've only just, scratched the surface. There's so much more to discover within the vast and intricate world of yoga.
This exploration has definitely sparked a deeper curiosity and appreciation for yoga. It's helped me see beyond the physical postures and into the heart of its spiritual depth.
And that's what we hope for, to inspire you to continue your own exploration, to delve deeper into the teachings, and to experience the transformative power of yoga for yourself. It's a lifelong journey of self-discovery and connection.
Well, it's been an incredible conversation. Thank you for, guiding us through this fascinating material and sharing your wisdom.
The pleasure was all mine. Yeah. And to our listeners, thank you for joining us on this deep dive.
Yeah.
We encourage you to, reflect on the ideas we've explored, maybe even revisit the source material. Perhaps this sparks a desire to embark on your own, journey of yogic discovery.
Until next time, may your path be filled with peace, wisdom, and the transformative power of yoga.